Welcome in, everyone. It has been an active night for some of us, and I wanted to come on and give a quick update on where we're at currently. We do have a severe thunderstorm warning for Dallas County, as you can see in the center of your screen. This is for warned for 60-mile-an-hour winds. Haven't really seen any hail reports. I just saw a spotted report of 52 miles an hour in Richardson along the US 75 corridor. So there are definitely some high winds out there. So let's talk about it. And before we do get into the details, this will not be a all night thing. Thankfully, now I say all night in the sense of the severest weather. Could see some rain overnight, but maybe some rumbles of thunder. But this hopefully will be the strongest that we see tonight. So with that, let's zoom in a little bit. So this is a close up of the Dallas County warning, and if I can get my drawing tool to work. That will not be, and that will. Okay, so it's a little hard to read because of the rain, but this is US 75, 635, George Bush 190, Garland, Saxe. So it kind of gives you an idea of what we're talking about. I always do that. I don't get rid of it until there we go. Okay. We'll put this in motion. The general motion is to the east, about 30 miles an hour, I guess. And, it's just something that we're dealing with right now. Hello. Thank you. Uh, Back at it. That's it. Back in it, I should say. That's right. Not for long, hopefully. So you can see the movement is to the really east northeast, but the general overall motion is to the east. So we're seeing these flashing areas of heavy rain and frequent lightning, heavy downpours. If you're under one of those updrafts, you'll definitely have a very heavy rain event, if you will. But let's take a look at the velocity because that's what we really want to focus on here. And let me expand this out a little bit. Actually, I'm going to go to a different product here. Yeah, that doesn't do much good either. Okay, well, let's go back to velocity. So, you know what? Actually, we're going to switch radars. Okay, there we go. So this is the Dallas Love Field Terminal Radar, velocity radar. It's kind of measures wind pretty well, and so we kind of zoom in here. We're seeing some stronger winds in the Highland Park area, just northeast of downtown Dallas. So if you live in that area, if you know people that live in that area, then that definitely may see some stronger winds. Although, like I said, we did get a gust in Richardson not too long ago to 52 miles an hour. It's not really, yeah, there's a little bit of corridor, I guess you could say. Trying to like this radar loop here. Yeah, there might be some areas here that's a little stronger, but it's not anything um, too bad. I'm going to switch back to the Fort Worth radar here. Yeah, it's right now. Again, we're seeing the strongest winds south of downtown Dallas, at least at the moment. Storms moving east into Garland, severe thunderstorm watch. No, don't have a watch. It is a warning, and that is span this back out. That's the box you see. As a matter of fact, they just canceled early the severe thunderstorm warning for Collin County, so the winds there have really come down quite a bit. Will Saxy be okay on my Instagram? Busy mom all the time. We'll be okay. Will Saxy be okay? Yes. But that's not to say that we wouldn't see some gusty winds. Like I said, the wind gust we just saw in Richardson was 52 miles an hour, and that's kind of headed in our general direction, if you will. So it's not out of question. Hopefully, it won't get that. But let's see what the highest gust I have at my station at my house so far. Let's see if I can get this to. Yes, 27 miles an hour, and that was actually with the outflow banner that moved there earlier. So nothing too bad right now. 27 miles an hour at my house. All right. So like I said, they canceled the Collin County warning. Uh, let's go back to velocity, not velocity, reflectivity. All right. So again, you can definitely see a lot of lightning, heavy rainfall. We'll put this in motion again. So right now, the biggest, the strongest core, I should say, is in central Dallas County. And I'll put my draw. Well, let's try this. Put my drawing tool back on there, and we'll. No, I don't want that. Let's do this. All right. So you can see the heaviest core is right here. So again, downtown Dallas, right here, Highland Park, University Park. 635. And again, just for reference, I know it might be a little hard to see on the screen, but that's downtown Garland, Saxe. So when you put that in motion, it's looking like now it could definitely change, but it's looking like the heaviest of the weather would probably say just south of Saxe. And of course, that would mean wind and you know, I haven't really seen any hail in this particular storm. Not to say there couldn't be, but it's going to be stormy for some of us. This is not a classic severe weather events you would see in the spring. So it's not that we're not talking about tornadoes. We're not really even talking about big hail, really even small hail. Not to say you couldn't see some small hail, but that's not even a big concern. Like I said, the bigger concern is the wind over the storms they had earlier that mainly impacted Denton and areas north of US Highway 380. Saw quite a few reports of wind damage. Nothing major, but just some broken tree limbs. But that's that will definitely get your attention. Hello, Miss Murdoch, PTL. I'm tired enough to know. I think I know what that means, but I don't want to guess. So, but I hope it's a good thing. Um, but thank you for watching us, Bridget. That you're welcome, Bridget. Bridget. I hope I'm saying your name right. Like I said, So if y'all don't know, Saxe had a Thursday night football game last night, and we were in Arlington, and that's an hour drive back, and you get back to the school at 11:15, 11:20, and being a bus chaperone, you don't get home till midnight. So it's I'm a little tired, but that's okay. But if there's weather going on, I'm gonna be here for you. Just a little bit of hell risk, but again, I think the biggest you might see out of this is maybe penny size. But then again, hey Abra, is there a hook coming for me? There is not a hook coming for you, at least not from a weather perspective. So you're good. You might see some gusty winds. So definitely be on the lookout for that. Okay, thank you, Miss Murdoch. Oh my gosh, right? Yes, that is very appropriate. So again, I'm sure if I had all my sleep, I would have got that. So thank you for clarifying that. Okay. Anyway, yes, Abra, praise be. That is right. No matter what it is, it's always praise the Lord. That's for sure. Okay, so like I said, and if let's just focus on the Garland Saxe area, at least for the moment. And there's no hook I see. That's right. No hooks. Like I said, it's not a tornado event at all. So no worries about that. So if we kind of zoom in on this a little bit more, well, of course, I got to get rid of this first. Let's zoom in a little bit on the Northeast Dallas County area. So, it's we're about to get it, and I don't mean that in a horrible way, but it's we're about to get rained on, which we had I was talking about this last week. A lot of areas around Saxe got about 4.5 inches of rain. So thankfully it's not like we need the rain, but it's something that I always take rain this time of year because 2 days ago was 102 degrees. So any kind of rain we get will definitely keep the soil more moist, and that will ultimately keep the temperatures from getting too out of control. But you can see a close up of this. Again, this part of the line has weakened some, which is good because that definitely weakens the wind potential. That's for sure. But again, let's put a velocity back on here. And again, there's not much going on here. I would say, it looks like most of the wind speeds have come down pretty good. Not that there's not gusty winds. If we look at the Dallas left field terminal radar, yeah. So this kind of shows the velocities a little bit better, and you can see there's a little bit more concentrated winds in the east central part of Dallas County. And if we put our tool on here, yeah, and they just modified the warning, to cut it out on the west side of Dallas County, which makes sense. Oh, here we go. Okay, let me zoom in on this. So you are seeing, and I know it's probably kind of hard to read, but there's 40 miles an hour. Now you'll see that point 0.9 kft, so that's almost 1,000 feet above the ground. And again, as I've always mentioned, that's the radar beam. In this case, in this case, it's coming from uh, Dallas Love Field radar, so it's really really close. But that's not technically at the ground, but just 1,000 feet above the ground. But so in this case, it's pretty close as far as it's probably you probably are seeing 40-mile-an-hour winds just east of Fair Park. So that's if you know someone that lives in that area, if you happen to be watching from that area, yeah, just be on the lookout for that. That's technically not severe criteria, but the Weather Service typically doesn't want to cancel a warning early until they see a bigger trend. So but so they're still got the warning in place for 60-mile-an-hour winds. We kind of back up here, not back up, but go up here a little bit to the Garland area, and thankfully, not seeing a whole lot. There's 20-mile-an-hour winds around Aldelia, 635 area. Rowlett's probably seeing some wind reports 25, 30 miles an hour. So nothing much going on in Saxe for wind. And I say that I check my station. We're okay. I just got a gust of 20 miles an hour. So that's not surprising. That's certainly nothing to be concerned about. All right. So let's go back to reflectivity. And actually, I'm going to go back to the regular radar here. Let's do that. There we go. Okay, so again, we're seeing heavier where you see that darker flashing color. That's where you're seeing the heaviest rain, the most intense lightning strikes, I guess you could say. And so Saxe, Garland, Richardson is not seeing a whole lot, thankfully. Actually, I don't want to do this. I want to do this. Okay. So that's good. Like I said, we don't want the wind. We don't want any of that. Yes, the severe thunderstorm warning issue for Dallas County, that's still in effect. And as you can see from the box right here, and they just updated it. Let's see what they said. Remains in effect till 11:30, so about another 14 minutes. They did warn it for 60-mile-an-hour winds and penny-sized hail. I haven't seen a ground truth report about penny-sized hail, but like I said, I wouldn't be shocked if somebody saw that kind of hail. It wouldn't last very long. Now the storms up north in Collin County, definitely some heavy rain, but they canceled the severe thunderstorm warning for that, and they replaced it with a special weather statement for 30, 40-mile-an-hour winds. And if we put the velocity back on here, yeah, again, seeing some maybe stronger winds in east of downtown Dallas. It's got a little bowing structure here, but it's not really that classic bow. But I could definitely see some stronger winds in this area, like the 30-80 split, 635, Mesquite, Town East. So I would say if you live in Rowlett, especially south of Highway 66, along Interstate, and in Garland along Interstate 30 to the county line at Rockwall to Lake Ray Hubbard. In the next 15 minutes, you will probably see some rougher weather, relatively speaking. And like I said, it is severe warned, so it's something that, just like I said, it's nothing to be overly concerned about. On Instagram, did you see the couplet north of Frisco earlier? Yes, I did actually, and so I'm glad you brought that up because it wasn't a true couplet in a supercell sense. What happened there was, and I wish I had the radar loop I could show you. What happened was you had this bigger storm that was earlier, and you had an updraft that was forming on the outflow, and it popped up right there. And when that merged, that updraft, and then, well, of course, you got updraft and you created downdraft. when that downdraft merged with that outflow first for a couple of frames of the radar, it definitely had a couplet signature, but it wasn't technically a couplet in the true tornado sense. So just kind of clear that up. Yes, so the hazard is 60-mile-an-hour winds, penny size hail. So that is correct. I haven't seen a lot of that ground truth yet, which is good news. All right, so let's put this in motion again, see what we got going on. So I would say this overall, not to be overly concerned about. Uh, Again, like I said, you can when you put these radars in the loop, you can definitely see it's definitely gotten a little healthier right along I-30 east of downtown. So, like I said, if you live in Mesquite, the southern part of Garland, probably the far southern parts of Rowlett, and probably anything east. I would say this: anything you know, south of Highway 66, you might definitely see some stronger weather, stronger winds, that's for sure. Um, yeah, looking at spotter reports again, that the area I just talked about, now it's just approaching. It's probably the radar's always a little bit behind, probably approaching 635 here. So if you live along that corridor, then be ready for some gusty winds. Hey, Brian, the wind is picking up in Wiley. It's picking up in Saxe as well. Nothing crazy, thankfully. Yes, I just had a gust to 30 miles an hour at my house. So, uh, you know, that's not anything to just dismiss, but by the same token, it's certainly not severe criteria. Tiger Mom 08 on Instagram. Thank you for taking your I can't display those on this screen, unfortunately, but thank you for taking time. Thank you for taking your valuable time to inform us about the weather conditions. Well, you're welcome. I really appreciate you saying that. Because I can tell you, like I said earlier, when you have a Thursday night football game and your day starts early on Friday, and then now it's late on Friday. Uh, I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty tired. But if there's weather going on, I'm gonna come on here and tell everybody about it because I just want to make sure everybody's informed. And like I said, this is not a severe. Well, I mean, it is. We'd have severe thunderstorm, but it's what I mean to say is it's not a severe event like the spring is. So that's definitely good. Yeah, there you go. We did just have a wind gust of 55 miles an hour at Love Field. Now, ironically, the severe criteria for wind is 58 miles an hour. So while technically that's not a severe gust, it's pretty doggone close. So that's why they have the warning. They keep the warning going. Miss Abra. Oh, well, thank you, Abra. I appreciate that. Okay. So last couple of radar scans, even the structure, the look of the radar return is not quite as impressive as it was just a few minutes ago. So that's good. Like I said, we don't want any damage. We don't even want swing sets being blown over. So uh, hopefully it's just that trend continues. All right, so let's zoom out of it. All right, so let's talk about the overnight hours before we sign off. So I'm going to put this in motion, and I just want to note a few things. So you see this line now; it's really kind of a line. Um, this line kind of moving through the area. Excuse me, from basically I-20 in Dallas County all the way north, really close to Sherman. Moving steadily, so you're not going to see any flash flooding or anything like that. But you are going to see definitely some heavy downpours, at least for a little bit. So that's number one. But also, what you're seeing is you're seeing some development back out to the west. I don't think it'll be as intense as this, and this is thankfully not that intense because these line of storms are going to work over the atmosphere pretty good. So that will definitely bring the intensities down. So don't be surprised. Yes, the cell it did get big, that's for sure. Don't be surprised if you heard a rumble of thunder overnight. I don't think it's going to be anything to write home about, as I used to say. But and by the way, for you younger people, that meant you used to actually write letters. to people. That's how you communicate. So it's I don't think I don't think it's going to meet that criteria, but don't be shocked if you hear something overnight. And then I think as we get into the day Saturday, our rain chances will decrease. And to be honest, I haven't looked at the latest model run, but I know this morning there's a chance of some maybe some rain showers on Sunday, and then the first part of next week, starting on Monday, maybe Tuesday, it'll start to warm up a little bit more, dry. But it's dry in a sense that how much rain you get now, and it'll be nothing crazy like the 102, but we'll definitely have temperatures in the low to mid 90s. It won't be crazy hot, but we are getting into the first to middle part of September, and I thought like I'm probably like most of you. It's like I'm kind of done with the warm weather. I want to start getting cool. Uh, Although to be fair, our summer has not been that bad. We've only had 7 100-degree days at DFW officially, and it wasn't just a few years ago that we had like 40. So it has not been that bad at all. All right, so let's zoom in real quick, and I don't see anything else in the chat, but if you have something, pop it in there real quick. So again, the heaviest part of the storm is going to be in East Central Dallas County. I uh, I doubt the Weather Service is going to extend this warning into Rockwall County. Now, if it pops up, or absolutely, if it intensifies a little bit more, then they can always change their mind. But I don't think they're going to do that. That's good news. That means they're not seeing any winds of 60 miles an hour or anything like that. So that's actually good. So, all right. So that is about it because it is 11:25 and my morning started really early after my night lasted a long time last night. But you do it for the kiddos, and I love our saxy band, and that's they're a great bunch of kids, and it's just you'll do it for that. You'll do it for your kids. So, but with that, I am glad that I don't have much going on tomorrow. I'm not gonna lie, and we certainly shouldn't have anything like this. But if for some reason that changes, then I will be back on here to let you know. All right, I don't see anything else in the chat, so thank you to my Instagram audience. Thank you for your questions there, and I will definitely try to include Instagram more often when we do weather reports because Instagram is funny because they don't obviously have multi-stream on different channels at the same time, and most of the um, you know channels are pretty seamless with their chat and all that, but Instagram just wants to be difficult and that you got to do everything separately. So it's kind of a pain sometimes, but I'll definitely try to do that more. A few questions in the chat and comments. It's actually going to get hail. Christy, it is not. Well, I say that. I don't think so. If you did, it would be really, really small. Thank you for watching. I appreciate that. You're welcome, Brian. Appreciate you tuning in on a late night. And Nancy chimes in and says, "Thank you. I appreciate that, Nancy. Hope you're doing well." All right. And let's see one more comment here. Any wins up to date update? So a few. So really the reports you had shared, the 55 miles per hour gust at Lovefield. That's the last one I saw. I'm looking at spotted reports and I have not seen any other spotted reports with winds. So I think that's because the storm has really died down quite a bit. So that is definitely good news. Okay. Thank you, Tiger Mom. I appreciate it. You have a good night as well. And like I said, enjoy the rain. Hopefully no wind, anything like that. And if you do see wind, hopefully it won't be more than 30 miles an hour. I really appreciate everybody tuning in. I really do. I love people, love keeping people informed. And this is a lot less stressful than when it's severe weather season and it's really serious. So but I want to come on and inform people when I can. So that's I'll do that every time I can. So I appreciate y'all tuning in. Appreciate y'all watching. And with that, I'm watching the weather, so you don't have to. Hope everyone has a great rest of your night, what's left of it, and a great weekend. And when something else happens, I will be right back here to talk about it. Good night to you too, sir. Appreciate you watching.